Well, hello. Welcome to Collision Live. Hope you're doing well out there. I hope that you are staying safe. Let's go back a little bit here. There we go. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are staying safe and having fun. Yeah. So let's start a little Collision Live. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. We're going to play some games. We're going to have a YouTube video of the week. We're going to catch up with Alex and Mitchell on the new news and the memes of the day. We're going to play an on-screen game. We'll also be having a devotion. At the end, we're going to do a special selfie challenge, which I hope you will enjoy. And then at the very end, I'm going to give you a challenge for the week of something to do, and the winner will be featured on Collision Live and their video that they make. So stay tuned till all the way so that you can see all the great things that are coming up, the cool, fun games that we're going to be having. But first off, let's get ready for our normal Collision Live. All right. So for Collision, every week that we come together, we always look at a YouTube video of the week, just to, kind of collectively laugh together and have a good time. And so we have picked a really good YouTube video for you. We think just basically hits the nail on the head. This is perfect for our time and what we're going through. It's going to be great. And so let's watch our YouTube video of the week.
Oh, Julian, you gotta see this.
Hey, 4 o'clock.
Whoa! What are you doing?
I wanted to show you a video.
Why didn't you just text it to me?
We're sitting in the same room.
But you're not sitting. You're doing the opposite of sitting. I don't even remember what you call this.
Standing.
No, that's not it.
Jogging.
I'm standing up.
Shane, it's the 21st century. When are you gonna learn to sit down?
Hey, is anyone else's Wi-Fi not working?
What?
It's true. I'm down too.
I feel so alone. No Instagram, no Snapchat.
You came in? You don't look too good.
I'm on edge, man. Do you know what it feels like to be on edge?
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Hey guys,
Joe?
Joe?
beautiful day, isn't it?
Joe, what are you doing outside?
Well, my internet's not working, so I changed my whole outlook on life. I haven't seen sunlight since I got dial-up in '96.
What's it like, Joe? Tell us.
It's really great, you guys. I highly recommend it.
Don't listen to him, Chester. It isn't safe out there.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go outside.
Would you listen to yourself?
I am, Julian. For the first time in my life.
It can't be. You're
Yes, Julian. I'm jogging. I haven't done this since I signed up for Hotmail.
You had Hotmail?
No.
Hey guys, the internet's fixed.
All right, there you go. We all know that struggle. No Wi-Fi. Yep, having no connection. We'd actually have to stand up and actually jog and go outside. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the middle of this live stream, because that would be horrible. All right, I believe it is time to check in on Alex and Mitchell and see what's going on in the news, what's happening in the meme world. They're on top of it. They're like the coolest of the cool. They basically they themselves are memes pretty much. So let's check in with them, see what they got to say, see what's going on in our world.
Welcome to Alex Mitchell Super Duper Awesome Weekly Church Web. No, I messed that up. Welcome to Alex Mitchell Super Duper Awesome Weekly Church Time Web Show Extravaganza, also known as AMSC, AWC, at TWC. I'm Mitchell.
I'm Alex. What do you got for them today, Mitchell?
Well, just like in every one of our shows, Alex, there's only been one so far.
Oh yeah.
We have some memes to start us off.
Some memes?
First, we have some memes,
Some
as usual. Very funny.
Very funny.
All right.
I'm not allowed to say May, so I don't know what to say here anymore. It's just a sad, dark reality. Got yelled at
This
last
guy
time.
on YouTube.
Oh.
Alex,
What?
why is this in German or whatever?
I don't know that one. I pulled it up on Reddit and it was in German.
Off-roof and Spikern. All right. This guy, he says, trying to sort gummy bears because I'm colorblind. Shout out to Jacob Dumas, who is colorblind and used to be in this very youth group. Next.
Oh,
What does it say there, Alex, on the billboard?
I wanted zombies. This virus sucks.
That is, yeah, in a end of the world situation, zombies would be way cooler.
Most definitely.
That car in the top right corner is really creepy.
It looked like an off-brand like version of Mike Wazowski, or not Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Lightning
Yeah,
McQueen.
looks just like Mike Wazowski. Yeah, it does. What is that? I don't know what that's from. It looks so familiar.
Ka-chow.
Probably from some nightmare I had. My sleep paralysis team.
Just laying there stuck in bed as it comes up and like.
Just
vroom.
a big red car like in your room. Vroom vroom.
Got something a little special for you guys this time. It's a little game I like to play. Can my dog eat this? There are 3 columns. There's yes, yes, but, and no. So the first column we got on the yes column, it is bananas, rich in potassium. Blueberries, high in antioxidants. Kiwis, good source of vitamin C. Pineapple, try frozen or pineapple, try frozen for a cool treat. Strawberries, high in fiber. And then in the yes but category, we have apples, remove the seeds. Dropped sandwich, I was gonna eat that. 700 tacos, it will take a while. Used Band-Aid, that is gross. A koala, the zoo will be mad. Why? What? Okay then, no. Avocados can cause vomiting. Lava can cause melting. The moon, it's too big. The sand, it's too sand. And finally, grape nuts. No one can eat these, they're terrible.
Kevin Vogel says, need your help. Which one is the best? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Then Boba Connoisseur comes in. 4 is fire. And Devin Vogel spits back. Actually, it's water, Boba Connoisseur.
Oh man.
He makes a good point.
The government forces everyone to stay at home for the next few months. People whose house arrest sentences. Oh my god! Government forces everyone to stay at home for the next few months. People whose house arrest sentences just got ended. Oh, I just got in there.
Go ahead, from the top, Alex.
Government forces everyone to stay at home for the next few months. People whose house arrest sentences just ended. It is, as you said last episode, appalled Mike Wazowski.
Appalled Mike Wazowski. Next, we have the COVID-19 support ribbon.
Toilet paper?
There's not much I can say about that. That is Charmin toilet paper. That's the good stuff too. That's not like the half ply at like the school bathroom.
Mitchell, next slide. It's my plans for weekend, for my weekend travel ideas. Yeah.
Okay.
We got like a patio balcony.
Where were you thinking about going?
Well, I was thinking about going to
That'd
patio
be
balcony,
nice.
get some of that fresh air, from the outside. But of course, then there's living and dining for, a nice dinner. There's the den. Don't know what that is, but one can only imagine. Then there's the bedroom. There's the walk-in closet.
I can only imagine what happens in the den.
I assume it's like some sort of man cave. I don't know. Maybe that's where I keep the lions den. Oh, that's where Daniel goes.
Weekend travel ideas. Gonna go to my den. Oh my gosh. Next, we have an actual picture of me running from my mom, Nancy Bonner, as I just took her Purell from her bathroom.
Oh man, she's decked out. She's got that night baton, the riot shield.
She just pulled out her riot shield
Oh.
that she uses on occasion. What's this next slide, Alex? I don't remember putting this in here.
Yeah, okay, so I just plopped this in here. These are actually like my favorite movies growing up, and since we have all this free time, I've been rewatching them. Really blast
okay.
from the past.
I haven't never heard of these before,
Yeah, so
actually.
first off, we have Dalmatians 2.
It looks like, does it say the adventure?
Yeah,
The Adventures of the Dalmatians?
The Adventure of the Dalmatians 2. You can't find these anywhere on Disney Plus though. Just got a disclaimer that. Next you got Atlantis, the Lost Continent. This one got me confused because I thought it was underwater, but apparently it's above water. As always.
It's just a normal con. It just looks like Greece. They just found Greece.
Then you got the Toys Room with an extra bonus cartoon.
The toys.
It's like a combination of Pinocchio and the Toy Story.
It's like, yeah, it's somehow Woody and Pinocchio together.
It's actually what happens to all the toys whenever they're forgotten. They just go into a room. Like that one train car from
The toys.
from Polar Express.
This guy from the toys room also looks like my sleep paralysis demon.
Then you have Notre Dame. Can't really read out what's that little note there, but it's just Notre Dame.
Hey, you took a blurry picture.
Yeah, my bad. It was kind of shaky, All the coughing makes me lose control. Then you got the lion. The lion and
The
his
lion
son.
and his son. That's why is he holding? He's gonna eat the mouse. And his son's just tied up on the bottom,
Oh my god.
like a good movie.
Oh yeah. And then you have Pocahontas.
They knew there was no other name for it, but then they're like, I got this. I have a good idea. We'll put a bird on it.
Yeah, this one also has an extra bonus cartoon.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
Next, we have a poem. Violets are blue, roses are red. Puppy gives the internet heart attack after eating jam and then playing dead.
Oh,
That's adorable.
so cute. Oh man.
All right, Alex, you know what time it is?
What time is it? Is it news time?
It's news time, Alex.
Let's go.
It is. It's news time.
I am quite excited for this one.
Why don't you start us off?
All right. God to flood Earth with hand sanitizer. You guys say more?
That's. Can you imagine the smell of that?
Oh.
Just like the heavy alcohol in the streets.
Oh man. That
Burn
would
all your nose hairs out.
get a paper cut. Death right there.
Next, we have Miracle. Toilet paper rolls or toilet paper falling from sky each morning like manna from heaven.
Ooh.
That's
very
good.
nice.
I actually haven't had that happen at my house
You haven't
yet.
had it? Oh.
But-
Maybe you guys aren't just good enough Christians, so it won't happen.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's
Have you
it. I
sacrificed
haven't-
your weekly ram yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true because it's we're still in the Exodus law if this is happening.
Yeah.
What's next, Alex?
Nation's nerds wake up in utopia where everyone stays inside, sports are canceled, and social interaction is forbidden.
Next we have man who gets coronavirus relieved he can finally touch his face all he wants. That's
I don't know about you, Mitchell, but I get really
hilarious.
paranoid whenever I have an itch on my nose and I have to go to scratch it and it's like, oh, I can't.
you're gonna give yourself coronavirus.
Yeah. Oh, we got a church chair stacking event added to Summer Olympics. Look at
Oh,
that
wow.
guy. He's been practicing.
You're good.
his
You're
whole
good
life.
at that.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's really excited to be an Olympian.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Next up, we have a little game that we found online that we're gonna let Alex play. All right. It's called Who Said It? Kanye West or an instruction manual for the Cuisinart CRC 400 electric rice cooker. Are you
Boy,
ready,
am I
Alex?
Excited. Yes, I am.
All right.
All right.
First, we have place rice in cooking bowl and add liquid to appropriate line marking. Who said it, Alex? Kanye West or the rice cooker? The instruction manual for the rice cooker.
Okay, this one's pretty simple. I'm gonna say it's definitely the rice cooker instruction manual.
The rice cooker instruction manual. You are correct.
Let's go.
That comes straight from the rice cooker instruction manual.
Okay.
All right, next.
Next.
Cover the cooking bowl with lid. Make sure the steam vent is facing towards the back of the unit. Who said it, Alex?
Okay, I feel like it's one of those like joke things, so it's definitely Kanye West.
Kanye West? All right, bold choice. Oh, I'm so sorry, Alex. It is the rice cooker.
Dang it.
It's all right.
Okay.
Next
okay.
time. You'll get it next time.
Yeah.
All right, next we have once the rice is cooked, once the rice is cooked, the unit will automatically switch to the warm setting and the warm LED will be illuminated until the unit is unplugged. Who said it? Kanye West or the rice cooker?
I'm gonna go with the rice cooker.
Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, I'm gonna go with the rice cooker.
The rice cooker?
Yeah.
Oh, you're correct.
Let's
It is the rice
go.
cooker. Yeah, that seemed pretty obvious.
Yeah. It's an
All right,
illuminated.
next. Why? Yeah, it said Kanye West doesn't use the word illuminated. That's his least favorite word. Next, we have white base of unit with a soft, damp cloth or microfiber towel. Never immerse base of unit in water. Who said it, Alex? Kanye West or the rice cooker?
I'm gonna have to go with the rice cooker again.
The rice cooker?
Yeah.
You're correct. It was the instruction manual for the Cuisinart CRC 400 rice cooker. Next, we have pre-programmed settings include sushi rice, brown rice, regular rice, soft grain, slow cooking for stews and soups, steaming for vegetables and seafood, and quick cooking. Who said it?
Okay, Mitchell. I think all of these are the rice cooker. Like, I mean, seriously, none of this sound like something Kanye would say. What the heck?
I don't know. Well, let's see.
Okay, rice
Oh,
cooker.
it was the rice cooker.
Let's go.
All right. Next, we have 1 cup of uncooked rice makes approximately 3 cups of cooked rice. Who said it, Alex?
The rice cooker.
You're right. It was the rice cooker.
Let's go.
All right. I don't know how many of these there are. Next up, we have fluff rice with paddle or utensils. Fluff rice with paddle or utensil suitable for non-stick cookware. Who said it, Alex?
You're killing me, Mitchell. It's the rice cooker.
It is the rice cooker, Alex.
Let's go.
All right. I believe this is our final one, Alex.
Okay.
If you are experiencing problems with your Cuisinart product, we suggest that you call our customer service center at 1-800-726-0190 before returning the product for servicing. Who said it? Kanye West or the CRC 400 Cuisinart rice cooker instruction manual, Alex?
Okay, this is obviously from the instruction manual for the Cuisinart.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry, Alex. It was actually Kanye West in his in his 2015 Grammy speech acceptance award. All right, okay. We now have some announcements.
We're in announcement time, so.
All right, you can start us off.
All right. Sunday morning worship. Don't forget to subscribe to our Foundation YouTube channel so that you can worship with us online every Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
Very good. I know I'm subscribed. Gary's sermon last time was riveting.
Quite fire.
Next, we have Foundation Student Ministries YouTube. Subscribe to our youth YouTube channel, which is different than our church YouTube channel, so that you can get notifications of when we are going live and stay up to date on everything going on.
Ooh.
And that should be the YouTube channel that you're on right now, that you're watching this live stream on. So yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
the end of our announcements.
Oh yeah, that is. All right. Well, everyone. Clinton's about to do his thing in the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you next week.
See you next week.
This has been. I gotta go back to the slide.
This has
So far back. This has been Alex Mitchell Super Duper Awesome Weekly Church Fun. I messed it up. This has been Alex Mitchell Super Duper Awesome Weekly Church Fun Time Web Show Extravaganza, also as AMSCAWC at TWSC. See you next week.
Catch you next week.
I'm really worried about you two. I would tell you to go outside and hang out with people, but you can't do that. So, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to continue to pray for your souls because it's getting crazy. All right. Well, moving on, we're gonna do a little on-screen game for everybody to play. So if you would like to play, make sure that you're in the live chat so that you can reveal your answers. This one's going to be a fun one. This is a game called Higher or Lower. So for this game, what you need to do is I'm going to give you a fact with a number, and you need to determine whether it is higher or lower than that number that I say on there. So this is real easy. You're going to be able to see this. It's not a problem. You'll be able to enjoy it. So how we'll do this is just write your comment in there, write higher or lower, and we'll just see how many of you guys are correct. So let's go ahead and get this started. Higher or lower, how many different kinds of fish do you think there are? Higher or lower? Higher or lower? You think it's 25,000? You think it's higher than that? There's that many different fish in the world, or you think it's lower than that many fish? Go ahead and put your answers in the comments. I will give you about 30 seconds or so because there's a little bit of delay on our live stream. So we've got Gary White right here. He's thinking lower. I don't know about that. He is, I don't know if he knows his fish. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, Grace Frazier, she's saying that it's higher. And saying hi. So we'll see if that's going to work out there. We got Canyon Burke. He's saying lower. So we'll see if that'll do it. Aniela South. She's saying higher. Addie White, higher. Awesome. This is good stuff. Ooh, so we've got a brother and sister at odds. Stormy says higher, but James says lower. We're just going to have to see what it is. So, all right, the answer is, let's go here. Boom, it is higher, 27,300. 27,300. So, if you said higher, congratulations. You know a lot about fish, I guess. So, kudos to you. All right, let's go to the next one. Minimum wage in 1963. Do you think it was higher than $1.50 or lower than $1.50? Nice. All right. We've got the Commodore here. Nice. William and Ben. It's good to see you guys on here. What do you think? Alyssa, I think she's thinking higher, or maybe that was for the previous answer. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to keep up. What do you think? The hourly rate of the 1963 minimum wage, $1.50. Do you think it was higher than that or lower than that? All right. We got Alex Ortiz. He thinks it's lower. So we're going to see if that's the case. See what else we got here. Who else? Livy White. The Commodore thinks higher. Livy White is thinking lower. Nice. Stormy thinking lower. Mitchell, higher. All right, let's see what it is. Higher or lower? Oh, it is lower. $1.25 was minimum wage in 1963. Nice. You work what? 8 hours, and that's what? 8 hours, and so what? $10, right? I don't know. I'm not that great with math, but $10 in a day. I mean, I guess you could eat out at a really cheap place that day, but that's about it. That's all you could really do with it. I mean, I guess the prices were different back then, so that would make sense. All right, next one. Do you think the times? How many times do you think donkeys are mentioned in the Bible. We've got 15,540. Do you think donkeys are actually mentioned more than that or less than that? So higher or lower? What do you think? What do you think? Higher or lower? What do you think? The time donkeys are mentioned in the Bible. There's a few places I know where donkeys are mentioned. They could be in many more places. Maybe there's only a few. Let's see what we got. Oh, we've got the Paul South. He's saying it is lower. Interesting, interesting. We'll see how that goes. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, Brandon and Emma. Both of you think it's lower. Wow, you guys must be brother and sister or something like that. Like you're so like connected on what you're thinking. Ooh, Nancy Bonner. She's saying lower, and she's pretty smart. So it's very possible that she knows what she's talking about. What else we got? Oh, the Cole family. They say higher. I wonder if they're split on that decision because I know there's like 4 of them total if they're all watching. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What else we got? Okay. All right. Okay. We're not including, Gary White, we're not including the Apocrypha. And there's no way that you're thinking about how many times that's counted. Just come on. Come on. Jeez. All right. Let's see what it is. Higher or lower times that donkeys are mentioned in the Bible. It is lower, 12,440, but not that much lower. I'm actually surprised it's that many times. I have to check up on this game and see if it's really legit, but that's what it says. It says it's lower. All right, let's go to the next one. Whoa, we skipped something here. Holy cow. Let's go. Well, that didn't work. We're not doing that one. Number of cells in the human body. All right, I think I messed up my little PDF document for this because I don't believe I put the answer to this one after this slide. But what do you think? Number of cells in the human body. You think it's 175 trillion? You think it's higher than that or lower than that? That's your 2 answers, higher or lower. I'm pretty sure I may not even have the answer scheduled to show on the screen. So what's your thoughts? What do you think? I may not be able to tell you the exact answer because I think I messed this up. But that's all right. That's how this kind of stuff goes. Higher or lower? We got Alex Ortiz. He's thinking lower. There's not that many cells in the human body. Stormy's thinking higher. Canyon Burke says chicken noodle. So he's obviously going insane in his home right now. William and Ben, higher. Brandon and Emma are thinking it's higher. Aniela is just being plain rude and saying really good tech skills. So, okay, so she's booted from the live stream right now. All right. All right. I don't think I have the answer on this, so it's not going to matter what I show because I don't think it's going to show it. So I'll have to just tell you later. Oh, I do know this one, so we're just going to have to move on. I don't know what the other one is. I'll tell you about it later. So for this one, I do know what the answer is for this, even if I don't have the slide for it. The most expensive iPhone app, do you think it's higher than $119.99, or do you think it is lower? Which one do you think it was? Higher or lower? And you shouldn't be looking these up. You shouldn't be Googling these. This is part of the fun of playing the game. You shouldn't be Googling them. You're trying to guess. So what do you think? It is higher or lower? Ooh, and Nancy Bonner says she found the answer to the last one. If you know the answer, Nancy, go ahead, put it in the chat. The answer to the how many cells are in the human body. We'd love to know how many there are. All right, so the most expensive iPhone app, higher or lower than $120? Alex Ortiz says higher. Grace says higher. Gary says lower. Canyon says higher. Man, a lot of people are going with higher. There's just a couple lowers. All right. Well, let's see what it is. I'm pretty sure I've got this one ready to go. Let's see what we got here. It is higher. And actually, this is an old game, an on-screen game. This $219.99 is incorrect. I think there's one that's actually like $1,000. It's the iVIP app or the VIP Black app or something like that. Basically, it's for rich people to get like VIP access to all that they want to do. But like $1,000, can you imagine? Like buying an app for $1,000 and then your parents being like, "Oh my gosh, what did you buy this app for?" I don't know. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. It's definitely never happened to me, because I would be divorced probably. Anyway, that is our higher and lower. So I hope you had a good time playing that game. It's a fun one. Sorry I messed up on a couple things, but that's all right. It's no big deal. We're just playing games. It's not like you could win anything on that one anyway. So, all right. As we transition here, we're going to get into a little bit of a devotion and talk about something tonight. I am going to lead us in a word of prayer real quick as we go into devotion. So if you wouldn't mind praying with me as I pray here over the live stream. And as we go into devotion, I just encourage you to give all your attention to this as possible. I know a lot of times we multitask, we do different things, we try to listen to stuff and do something else, but a lot of times when we're doing something else, we're not listening very well. So I just recommend, if you are able, that you listen well and you just try to focus on just this, because I think God has something really important for us tonight. So let's pray. God, thank you so much for your grace and your goodness. I thank you for these students. I thank you for the opportunity that we have to connect in this cool way, even though we physically can't be together. God, we just ask that you would lead us and guide us as we open your word, as we learn more about you. God, we want to know you, and we want to grow in our faith, especially during these difficult times when all of us are experiencing all different kinds of things and struggling, and we're probably anxious and nervous and frustrated and sad and mad all at the same time. So God, I just ask that you would lead us and guide us tonight. And it's in your name that we pray, Jesus. Amen. All right. So tonight, I just wanted to take just a moment and I wanted to talk about loss. And so what I'd love for you to do, obviously in the shorter description as you can, I'd love for you to type in the live chat of a time that you experienced loss. Maybe it was a big game that you were really excited for whatever sport that you were playing. Maybe it was a match or something like that, and it was really important, but you lost, and it was a heartbreak to you. Or maybe it's another kind of loss. Maybe it's some kind of board game or some kind of game that you were playing with your friends, or maybe it's a real life kind of loss of somebody in your life that you're close to that you lost in some way or another. So I'd love for you to take just a moment and put that in the comments. Here in just a second, I may feature a couple of them on the screen. So I'd love for you to participate in that way. But I know, I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who loves losing or enjoys it. I know I don't. Now, I'm not usually a big competitive person at all. But I do know that I like winning, and when I'm playing a game, I try to do the best I can. But I'm not like super competitive all the time. The only time I'm actually really competitive is when I'm playing against somebody who hates losing, like at the very core of their being. Someone who's so competitive that like it gives me joy in my soul to see them lose. Now, I know that's pretty messed up, but that's really the only time that I'm very or competitive at all. I don't know if you've ever seen these videos of people. I was trying to find some. I couldn't find a really good one, but you could definitely find this on YouTube easily anywhere you look. But it's people who are celebrating too early. Maybe they're playing a game, they're playing soccer, baseball, whatever it is, and they start celebrating before the game is actually over, or before the shot is actually over, and they end up losing when they think that they've won. I love this because it's just a really cool thing because they kind of deserve to lose. I mean, if they're going to celebrate that early, I mean, come on, like your head's got to be in the game. You got to be paying attention to what's going on. I think those things are hilarious, but you should definitely look those up on YouTube. They're hilarious. But, you know, we've all experienced loss in varying degrees. Maybe you've lost a board game before, or, you know, you had a big basketball game that you lost. Maybe you had a UIL competition that you were involved in and you didn't place as well as you thought. Maybe you instead of just loss in kind of games or in playing, you've experienced a loss in real life. Maybe you've had a pet die. Maybe you've had to move to a different city and started a new school. Or maybe a friend moved away. Maybe you had a grandparent die. Or one of your parents got divorced. I see some of you guys like Canyon. He's talking about how he lost a big game for his school football game. That can be difficult. Grace talks about when her friend moved away. That's really hard, especially if it's somebody you're really close to. Paul South, man, a real life one when his father passed away. That is experiencing loss to a degree that a lot of us can't understand. I see how Addie, she put that a loss of a friendship that can be really hard. Or Livy, Olivia White, when my cat Cookie died. That can be really hard and can be really difficult. Like Stormy, she talks about suddenly losing a loved one, just all of a sudden, and they're gone. And maybe you didn't get a chance to say goodbye. It can be really difficult. We've got other ones, a best friend passing away. We've got another one where a grandpa passing away. A couple people have said that. So we've all experienced loss in all these different kinds of ways. It's just crazy. But that's just how it is. Like, we've all experienced loss in one way or another. And right now, we're all experiencing loss in the way that we're having to restructure how we do things in our society. With the coronavirus, we're having to socially distance ourselves from others. We can't go to school. You can't see your friends, really. You can't play sports. You can't do band. You can't go hang out with a bunch of people. And your parents as well may be experiencing loss too. Maybe they're in a job where they're not working as many hours because their business isn't open, or they've been furloughed or fired, or maybe they work in the medical field and so they're working overtime because they're trying to help people who are dealing with this virus. And so, all of us are experiencing loss, and it's rare when a whole country experiences loss all together. So tonight I want to talk about loss. I want to talk about how we need to be honest about it. But then I also want to kind of talk about how we can prevent ourselves from drowning in sorrow when we're experiencing loss. So we're gonna work through that. So what I want to talk about tonight is I want to look specifically at this book in the Bible that I don't really know of many preachers or teachers often using it to talk about. But I want to look at the book of Lamentations. Lamentations in the Old Testament. It's after Psalms and Proverbs. But it's a really interesting book, and it's organized in a really detailed way. Lament basically means to have this passionate expression of grief or sorrow. So I think this book has a lot to say to us today during the coronavirus. Lamentations is kind of this poetic reflection on the siege of Jerusalem and then their exile after it. So you see, there was a period of time when Israel, they had many kings. They were doing really great and wonderful, but for centuries they had disobeyed God. They weren't doing what he had called them to do. And so essentially what happens is the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, we talked about him last week, he actually comes to Jerusalem. He lays siege to it, and he conquers it. And he destroys the temple of God, and he leads away so many of the Jewish people into exile. And so this was a big deal for the Jewish people. It would be a big deal for anybody, but especially for the Jewish people when they saw their temple destroyed. This basically was a period where they kind of felt like God had left them. Their temple was basically a place where God dwelt. And so when the temple was destroyed, it made them believe that God's presence was now gone from them, that it was taken away. And so this is why they grieved. This is why the writer of Lamentations writes this book, because they're grieving this extreme loss of everything that they've known. The cool thing about Lamentations is that it is organized into 5 chapters, and it's really cool how they organize it. The first 2 chapters of Lamentations, each verse is a letter of the Hebrew alphabet. So it goes through the whole Hebrew alphabet. It's called an acrostic. Gary White loves acrostics. And it goes through all of these and for the first chapter. And the second chapter does the same exact thing. Then in chapter 3, they actually do 3 verses per 1 Hebrew letter. So you end up with 66 verses. So it's a lot longer. And there's more going on in that one. Then you have chapter 4. It goes back to what chapter 1 and 2 are doing. It's 1 letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And then finally you get to chapter 5, and it's just chaos. It doesn't have a structure like the rest of the book. So what I want to do is I want to take just a moment. I want to read the last few verses of chapter 5. It's really interesting how it does this. So let's go ahead and go to that. We're reading in Lamentations 5. This is verses 19 through 22. I'm reading out of the NIV. You can obviously follow along on your screen in front of me. But it says, "You, Lord, reign forever. Your throne endures from generation to generation. Why do you always forget us? Why do you forsake us so long? Restore us to yourself, Lord, that we may return. Renew our days as of old, unless you have utterly rejected us and are angry with us beyond measure." These verses are so crazy because they're almost like a paradox. It doesn't quite make sense. I mean, in one verse, they're praising God. Then in the next, they're kind of questioning him of why this is happening. Have you ever felt that way where you have 2 conflicting emotions about something? Maybe you're in an argument with your parents about something. You love them, you respect them, but at the same time, you're mad that they won't let you go hang out with your friends. I mean, you can't do that anyway. But let's say that they told you no, and you had the possibility of you could. So maybe you're mad that you can't go hang out with your friends, or maybe you're mad that they took away your phone, but you love them, but you're also really angry with them at the same time. The Jewish people, they wanted to keep praising God, but they were in pain. They were in grief. The temple, the very place where God dwelt, was now destroyed. His presence seemed like it was gone, yet at the same time, they knew they had been disobedient. If you look early on in the first chapter of Lamentations, I think it's in verse 8, they know that they haven't been obedient to what God has called them to do. And they kind of knew that this was God's righteous judgment on them. Because they weren't obedient. So imagine feeling these 2 kinds of things going on. That you're grieving, but you're also kind of like, well, we kind of had it coming because we weren't obedient. Now, I want you to understand, I'm reading this because I think there's good implications from this, but I don't want you to get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that the coronavirus is being used by God to judge us. So I will leave that determination up to God himself. That is not something I will determine. What I'm saying is that during this time, it's okay to lament. It's okay to lament a little bit. Every year, this is really cool, the Jewish people, they celebrate a fasting day, and it's called Tisha B'Av. And it's this day of mourning for Judaism, where people grieve over this siege that happened and this destruction of the temple that happened. They grieve for it. But over the years, they've actually added more things to grieve about, more tragedies that they've experienced. So on Tisha B'Av, they actually mourn the massacres that happened during the Crusades and the millions of Jewish people that died during the Holocaust. And so Tisha B'Av is this fasting day where they mourn and they grieve over these horrible things that have happened to them as a people. The closest thing I think that we probably have of this, I know we have I think a national day of mourning, but probably the closest thing we have to this that everybody knows about is Memorial Day. But really that's just essentially mourning the loss of those who have died in military service, men and women who've given their lives in that. And so we have something similar to that, but I don't know if it's as deep as this Jewish fasting day is. So obviously the Jewish people realized something that we don't. And this is kind of our first point for tonight. Naming loss helps us be honest about grief. Naming loss helps us be honest about grief. we don't have to pretend like everything is fine. We don't have to stuff our emotions down and just kind of get along. We don't have to pretend that. It's okay to name what is lost and lament or grieve together. We can respond to others and we can say, man, that sucks. I'm really sorry that you're hurting that way, that you're really grieving in that kind of way. It's okay to say that. We can acknowledge our sources of anger and irritability. That's okay. That's totally fine. It's okay to be sad that you won't be able to do sports this season and that they've been kind of cut short because of this social distancing. It's okay to be sad and angry when you miss your friends and you can't physically be with them. It's okay to be mad that the school year hasn't turned out like you thought it would. It's okay to be frustrated that you have to do the school year at home now. It's important that we're honest about our grief and our loss. And if we're not, that's not healthy for us. It can lead to more emotional problems later. So everyone has to deal with loss. And when you don't, it'll overcome you. It'll take you down a path that you don't want to go. It's a lot of hurt, and even more hurt than you're experiencing right now. But there's another step that I think needs to be taken. If you only focus on loss, if that's the only thing you're focusing on, then you're going to drown in sorrow. If that's the only thing that your mind is filled with, you're going to drown in sorrow. As Christians, we're actually called to rejoice. And you might be thinking, wow, Clinton, how do I rejoice in the midst of this ridiculousness going on? Like, how do I rejoice in all of this? Especially when you're having to be around your parents maybe for 24/7 and you want to pull your hair out. How do you rejoice in the midst of all this craziness? I think Paul reminds us in Philippians that we're to rejoice always. I mean, he says it in chapter 4. If you go look towards the end, he says, rejoice always. And the way we do that is by realizing that we have a heavenly Father that we can take our requests to. But the key is, I think with Paul, is that we take our requests to God with thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the key. We don't pray to God with this transactional spirit, okay? So it's not like going to the store and buying something and you give them money and they give you what you bought. That's not what prayer is about. Prayer is about sustaining this relationship with God, praying because we want to know him and we want to know him better. And so when we pray with thanksgiving and gratefulness because we ultimately know that we don't deserve this grace and this love that we've been given. When we offer up our requests and our hurt and our pain and our grief, Paul says that we'll experience peace. And this is a really cool thing. Paul even describes this peace as something that guards our hearts and our minds. This peace. And so this leads to my next point. I believe that naming gratitude prevents us from drowning in sorrow. Naming gratitude prevents us from drowning in sorrow. I don't know if you've ever been around a really joyful person. One of the people that I remember from my life that has been truly joyful to me, and just in the way that he lived, was this guy I met in college. His name was Austin. And Austin was this guy who was just, it was so intense just being around him because he was always joyous all the time. He had faith in God. He loved others. But he was one of those people that anytime we were at chapel, anytime a football game, basketball game, whatever it is, he would sit up front always. Any kind of football game, he would paint himself up with the colors of our school, and he would cheer louder than anybody I've ever heard. Anytime we were in an auditorium or some kind of place where there was something funny that happened, his laugh filled the auditorium. And it was infectious. It would make everybody else laugh at the same time. And also, he was insanely tall. I think he was like 6'8" or something like that. Like, he towered above everybody else. You could see him in any kind of crowd. He always stuck out. He had joy about life and about people and about his faith, and he couldn't help but laugh. And anytime you were around Austin, like, it just made you want to be joyous as well. I think the key here is that if you want to be joyous, you have to focus on gratitude. If you want to be joyous, you have to focus on gratitude. Did you know that gratitude is actually connected to these systems of the brain that regulate emotions, that support stress relief, such as heart rate and even pain? When you're grateful, you focus your mind on what you're grateful for. It can actually give you a calmer mood. It can begin to remove that stress. There's studies that have shown that it can minimize depression, and it can also improve socialization. Gratitude is amazing. And the crazy thing about it is that gratitude has no negative side effects. None whatsoever. It is simple and it is free. So here's my application to you. As we talk about this, I think it's important. The first thing is that you should make 2 lists. You can make them on a piece of paper. You can make them on your phone. Maybe you can put up a big old sheet of paper in your home and make 2 lists. One side that says loss and one side that says gratitude. And essentially make a list. Make a list of the different things that you've lost with everything going on right now. You might put on there not getting to see your friends. That is a loss that you've experienced. Maybe a loss is that you don't get to play sports in what you're doing. That could be a loss that you have. Maybe it's that you're not getting to have a normal school year. And the list goes on and on. And then what I want you to do is I want you to make a grateful list as well, and list the things that you're actually grateful for. That maybe you get to focus on a hobby now more than you could if you were in school and you were having to do more work. You get to learn the guitar better, or you'll learn how to code, or something like that, like something that you've been wanting to do and now you have the time for. Maybe you're grateful that you get to catch up on that TV show that you've really been wanting to watch, or that movie that you've really been wanting to see. Maybe you could simply be grateful that you don't have to make your lunch every day for school. That is something that you can be grateful for. You can be grateful for technology, that we have devices like this that we can still keep in contact with one another. It could be any number of things, but I encourage you to make a couple lists. Maybe for you, maybe you need to start journaling your experience. I know this is one thing I was talking about with my daughter, journaling what we're going through right now. If you don't realize it or not, this is going to be a part of the history books later, and the way that it's impacted our country and our future and how we do things. So maybe it might be helpful to journal about your experience, what you're feeling, what you've lost, what you're grateful for. And then, 20, 30, 40, 60 years down the road, you can tell your children or your grandchildren all about how you survived the coronavirus of 2020. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with journaling. If you're like me, it can take a while for you to figure out why you feel the way you feel. Sometimes processing my emotions takes a while. I can't do it right off the bat. And so it takes time for me to think about, okay, how do I feel about this situation? Am I frustrated? Am I irritated? Am I angry? Am I sad? Is it a combination of some of these? And so maybe writing this stuff down can help you process what you're actually feeling. Maybe you're bad at figuring out how you're feeling and you don't know what word to use. You can actually go to Google and type in feeling words or a list of feeling words, and you have tons of words to choose from to pinpoint exactly how you feel about the things that are going on. And all because it's really important to figure this stuff out so that we can name these kind of losses because it's important, so we can be honest about our grief. But I think it's also important on the other side of that, don't just stay with what you're losing and focus on your loss and your grief and your pain. I think it's important to also focus on what you're grateful for, the things that are popping up, because that naming that gratitude can really help you can prevent you from drowning in your sorrow. So I hope that you hear this. I hope that this is something that can help you process what's going on. So there you go. All right, let's pray, and then we'll transition to a couple other challenges. We're gonna do an on-screen kind of challenge here, and then I'm gonna present you a challenge of something to do after this is over this week, and to send me your videos of this challenge that I'm gonna present to you. And so let's pray. God, I thank you so much for these students. I thank you for this time that we can open up your word, we can chat, and we can hear from you. God, I pray that you would help us to be honest about the losses that we're experiencing, but Father, also to be grateful. for the things that you've put in our lives that are just amazing. Your love and your grace cannot be stopped with what is going on in our world. And so, God, I just pray that you would help us as your church to be honest, but to also be grateful. And so, God, we love you. We thank you for all that you do for us. And God, we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. We are going to do here, we're going to do actually a selfie challenge. And so how this is going to work, and let me take that off for just a second. We are going to do a selfie challenge. So we did this last week. What I'm going to do is I am going to name an object, and your goal is to find this object in your home, and I want you to take a selfie with this object. And so here in just a second, I'm going to put a number up on the screen. This is the number that you're going to text to. So if you happen to have a number that's my personal number, don't text it to that. You're texting it to the number that is on the screen. And so so what I want you to do is here in just a second, I'm going to name this object. I'm going to put the number up on the screen. The first person to send me their selfie with this object, you will win an Amazon gift card, and I will get it mailed to you this week. You could buy something on Amazon. They're still delivering. I don't know if you can buy toilet paper, so you're probably just going to have to buy something else that you want. But yeah, just do the best you can. A couple of notes. Don't forget, make sure your photo is crystal clear. Some of you last week, your photos were really blurry. Make sure that I can see the object, the complete object. Don't miss that, because if you just show me the handle of something or a different weird view of it and I can't tell what it is, you're not going to win. So you've got to have the object fully in the picture, and I've got to be able to see your face in the picture as well for this to work. And so what I want you to do is I'm going to give you a few moments here. I want you to text me a selfie of you with an iron. An iron, okay? I have the number up on the screen. You're getting an iron. This is what you use to iron clothes on an ironing board, all right? I want to see a selfie of you with an iron in your hands. Make sure the photo is crystal clear. It is not blurry. Make sure I can see the object. I can see your face as well. So if you got to get in front of a light, that's what you got to do. I got to see it clearly. So whoever texts me first and I see the picture first, then you are going to be the winner. You're going to receive an Amazon gift card in the mail this week. So just something fun that we can do. So good. All right. Looks like we've got some good views. We've got a few likes. You guys were saying that you're grateful for, I see Addie White, grateful for technology. Alyssa, nice. Grateful for your family. Awesome. This is good stuff. Yeah, there's a big difference between being around somebody who is a joyful person and being around somebody who's negative. Man, yeah, somebody who's negative, they bring you down big time. And so, yeah, definitely something to think about. The Cole family, yes, you hope you have it. You guys need to make sure you're unpacked. I know you guys just moved, so a lot of your stuff is packed up. That makes it hard. Let's see. Ooh, I've got an image from somebody here. Oh, excellent. They're pouring in. This is good stuff. Awesome. Ooh, this is so good. I'm so excited. You're going to love this. Sorry my lights are off just a little bit. I thought the natural light from outside would help, but the sun's going down. So that's what happens. Let's see here. We've got a few good ones here. All right. This is good stuff. Okay. I believe that we have a winner. This was the first selfie that came through. I wish I could just kind of throw it up on the computer. I can't do that. I know that would look way more professional, but I will show you the image that I got. This right here, yes, Michaela Morgan. Yes, well done. You were the first picture to send. So you won the Amazon gift card. I will be getting that in the mail to you this week, so you can buy whatever you want to your heart's content, except probably toilet paper or hand sanitizer, because I'm pretty sure Amazon doesn't have any of that because of the dang people in the world who are taking it all. So I hope you enjoyed the selfie challenge. I know I still got a few more coming in. This is awesome. Yeah. What was? Yeah, Mitchell. I that's true. That's true. I do have a collection of teenagers just holding irons. I put it in a scrapbook. I look at it from time to time. I'm like, ooh. That's exactly my thing. That's what I do. That's the only reason I had you do that. That makes sense. So, all right, this is the last thing. We're getting to the last thing. I know you're sad and you hate that this is almost over. I know, and it's okay to cry. It's okay to be honest about your grief. We've just got one last thing left. I've got a challenge for you this week. I want to explain it before I go to my next graphic. So what I want you to do is I want you to complete this challenge that I'm going to talk about in just a second. I want you to record yourself completing this challenge, and I want you to send it to me. You can email it to me. You can text it to me. However you want to get it to me. I'm a homing pigeon if you want, and just put it in a little USB drive and put it on a pigeon and have them fly to my house. I think that's how we're mostly communicating these days during the coronavirus. So just get it to me however you want. You're going to record yourself doing this challenge, and whoever does it with the stipulations that I mention is the one who's going to be featured next week. Okay, so I'm not giving you a gift card or anything like that, but if you pull it off, it'll be an awesome video to show for our live stream next week. So I would love for you to do it. And so what we're going to do is, I know this is old and students have did this like 2 or 3 years ago, but this is something that I think would be really fun. I want you to do a water bottle flip challenge. So what I mean by that is I want you to record yourself trying to flip a water bottle, and I want you to do it in as many times as you can in a row. So what that means is you can't edit your video. When you're recording, you can't stop it and then do another one and then edit out the times when you didn't, because I'll be able to tell. It needs to be all in a row. So what that means is that you may need to get somebody else to shoot the video for you or to film it while you're flipping the water bottle, so I can see you and the water bottle at the same time with no cuts. So no editing, no special stuff like that. I want you to flip the water bottle as many times as you can. And here's another little thing. If you can actually flip it, maybe not flipping it so many times in a row, but maybe flipping it in the most creative possible way that you can, I want to see that. So maybe I'll feature both. Maybe I'll feature a video of somebody doing it tons of times in a row because they're just amazing. And I might feature another video of somebody doing it in a really creative way. So I want you to think about that. I want you to record your video, and I want you to send it to me by Friday. By this Friday, I think, what is that? April the 3rd, I think it is. Friday, April the 3rd. Let me double check on that because I know somebody's going to call me out if I'm wrong about it. April the 3rd. Yes, Friday, April the 3rd. So any videos after that date do not count. I won't be featuring you. So you need to record yourself, send it to me by this Friday. And then you could possibly be featured in our live stream next week. So with a couple things with that, that's pretty much all I got for you. I know it's sad that we have to go, but I'm just a text away. Anytime this week. So if you need anything, you're bored out of your mind, you want to play a game online or something like that, text me, message me up. I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to play a game online, something like that. I know we can't get together. We're going to be trying something this week with a few students of a game that maybe we can play online, and then next week I'll tell you more about that so we can schedule a time to all of us to be able to play a game through Zoom or on a website or something like that. So if you're interested in something like that, definitely let me know in the live chat. I will definitely hit you up so we can maybe test some stuff out this week. So that we can do something else besides just live streaming. Because this is nice. This isn't bad, but ultimately I can't see your faces. I'm just seeing text coming through. But yeah, I want to do something else more than just this. So we're going to be working on some stuff and do that hopefully next week as well. I'm going to learn a little bit more about this software, and I'm hoping during the live stream to do an actual call with somebody. So you'll see their face. I'll be on here as well. We can check in on a student that maybe you're wondering about, you want to hear from. Maybe we'll talk about what they've been doing in their spare time, something like that. So if you're interested in that as well, definitely text me. I'd love to be able to call you during the live stream, and we can talk about what you're doing and how you're keeping yourself busy. So a lot of cool things. All right, that's all I got. So I hope and I pray that you have an awesome week this week. Make sure let's be nice to our parents, okay? Be nice to your parents because they're trying as hard as they can in the midst of all this craziness to keep you safe, but also to provide for you and to help you do your schooling and to not pull their own hair out. So let's offer a little bit of grace to our parents out there. And if your parents watching this, let's offer a little bit of grace to our students who may be feeling anxious or frustrated during this time. But let's name our losses. Let's name the things that we're grateful for with our family. I think those would be good ways of connecting with our family. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching and playing the games, listening to me talk about random stuff. I appreciate you all. I miss you all a lot. I can't wait till we're together again. And I hope and pray that you stay safe, wash your hands, and continue following God and putting your faith and your trust in Him. All right, guys, we will talk to you later. See ya. If I can only figure out how to stop this now. There we go.